Welcome to Unleash the Power of Carnosine. For those who don't know me, my name is Jayne Bryson, and I've been a naturopathic practitioner for 22 plus years in Brisbane, sunny Queensland, Australia. And I'm really excited to go through the power of carnosine. And it's going to be less than 20 minutes, I guarantee. And the four things that I'm going to talk about very briefly is muscle performance and recovery, powerful antioxidant protection, anti-aging, cellular health, and brain and cognitive support. So let's get started. Carnosine, or what is it? Carnosine is a naturally occurring compound in the body known as a dipeptide, made from two amino acids, beta-alanine and L-histidine. It is found in high concentrations in tissues that need rapid energy and protection, especially muscles, the brain, and the heart. Your body can produce carnosine on its own, primarily from animal-based foods like meat and fish, as well as some supplements. However, uptake is very poor due to poor absorption, and research suggests topical carnosine gels are better absorbed. More about that later. So the problem is when you exercise, what actually happens? You get muscle fatigue and it limits output. There is slow recovery and reduced consistency. So what happens is you get this acid buildup. So hydrogen ions accumulate and are referred to as the buildup of protons inside your muscles during intense exercise. When you train hard, your body produces energy quickly through anaerobic metabolism. It lowers the muscle's pH, making it more acidic. So what happens? Well, that causes burning and fatigue. And I am positive that you have experienced that at some point in your life. Why does it matter? Because it limits performance and it forces you to slow down or stop. And this is exactly where compounds like carnosine help by buffering, soaking up long before fatigue. So the first area that I'm going to briefly talk about is muscle performance and recovery. So carnosine acts as a buffer in muscles, reducing acid buildup during exercise, and this helps delay fatigue, improve endurance, and speed up recovery. Here's what carnosine does. Delays muscle fatigue by neutralizing acid buildup, in turn helping muscles keep contracting for longer. Here's the magical part. Higher carnosine in your body, better repeated effort output, because carnosine enhances power output by allowing muscles to generate more efficiently, as well as improving explosive movements and peak performance. What does it do? Speeds up recovery, reduces muscle acidity post-exercise, and helps muscles return to baseline faster. And guess what? There's over 3,500 research papers, and you can go to Google and have a look at carnosine medical papers. You can seriously have a look. It's really, really extraordinary. And one of them that I've just plucked out back in 2018, it clearly states that it has the ability to enhance intracellular muscle buffering capacity, thereby delaying fatigue during high intensity exercise by increasing muscle carnosine content. And here's another one, the effects of carnosine. And again, I've got a little red arrow there that you can have a look at, and it's pretty awesome because this one talks about the skeletal muscle fibers and how the carnosine directly augments force production by the contractual apparatus in both type 1 and type 2 human vastus laterus muscle fibers. So, number 2, powerful antioxidant protection. So carnosine acts as a powerful antioxidant, anti-glycation agent, and heavy metal chelator. Powerful antioxidant protection. How does that work? Carnosine acts as an antioxidant that can donate electrons or hydrogen ions to neutralize free radicals, stopping them from creating a chain reaction of damage in the body. And I've done a little diagram there. I've added that in there to explain it. So when you have free radicals in your body, they will make a lot of damage. And they are spinning out of control because they don't have an equal electron in the outer orbit. So what happens is to stop it from spinning out of control in your body, the carnosine will donate electrons to it to stop it from doing any more damage. So PubMed, there's another one, carnosine as a natural antioxidant and gioprotector from molecular mechanisms to clinical trials. So carnosine, again, it's anti-aging, antioxidant, membrane protective, metal ion chelating, buffering, anti-glycation, transglycating activities used to prevent and treat a spectrum of age-related and metabolic diseases such as neurodegenerative disease, sight-threatening eye diseases, diabetes mellitus and its complications, cancers and other disorders due to their wide spectrum biological activities. Number 3, anti-aging and cellular health. So carnosine helps prevent glycation, sugar damage to proteins, one of the key drivers of aging, supporting healthier skin and tissues. Can you put it directly on your face? Yes, you can. And carnosine for anti-aging and overall wellness is something to look at because over 60% of Americans, and I would safely say Australians too, over the age of 65 have been diagnosed with chronic health conditions that require medication and medical intervention. As we age, our carnosine levels naturally decline. They start declining at the age of 10, by the way. Unfortunately, that drop comes at a time when the body needs its antioxidant most. Research has shown the significant impact of elevated carnosine levels for anti-aging and overall wellness. By protecting cells from the damage caused by free radicals, carnosine can offer therapeutic support for many health conditions and concerns. And here's another research paper on carnosine. Again, it talks about anti-inflammatory, the effect on autoimmune diseases such as osteoarthritis. It goes on and on and on, preventing skin aging, intestinal damage, improving the stress, the fighting capability of the muscle cell, the managing an age-related decline in memory and learning. And number 4 is brain and cognitive support. So carnosine shows potential to enhance cognitive function, specifically memory and verbal recall in older adults. It shows promise in managing neurodegeneration. That is more of the dementias, Alzheimer's, Parkinson, and improving cognition in mild cognitive impairment and schizophrenia by reducing amyloid-related neurodegeneration. And the results are pretty astounding. And this is where I found in 2021 the Journal of Neurochemistry. And this one talks about carnosine improves aging-induced cognitive impairment and brain regional neurodegeneration in relation to the neuropathological alterations in the secondary structure of amyloid beta, which is very, very important. So it improves aging, induced deficits in cognitive function. So another one, the outcomes are in a younger participant, ages between 23 and 35. It's still working. It doesn't matter what age. Again, pause this so you can read it. So carnosine overall, it protects brain cells from inflammation and oxidative stress, supporting memory, focus, and long-term brain health. Carnosine helps you perform better, recover faster, protect your cells, and age more gracefully. And there was a mini review article, which I was very interested in, and it was the potential use of carnosine in diabetes and other afflictions reported in long COVID patients. So when I had a look at this, I was really interested because it also helps with lung health, the spike proteins, the pancreas, which is the glucose, and triglycerides in diabetes type 2. And that's a big thing because in Australia, there's 300 people a day being diagnosed with diabetes, and that's not even included in, insulin resistance. And I'm sure there's probably a couple of hundred of those every day. And then you've got blood vessel anti-glycating effect on carnosine. It reduces the hypercoagulation. Very important. And then you've got the brain. And it's very important that the brain, because of course, with all of these dementias and foggy brain, there's a lot of inflammation. And we do have diabetes 3, which is sugar on the brain. And then we have immune cells because it's got antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. Yeah, may attenuate the cytokine storm in COVID-19. So there's more studies here. This is done in December 2025. Again, I won't read out this, but it's very, very interesting. And I would highly recommend that you do some research on carnosine. So why is this gel a little bit different? Well, it's all in the delivery, and it's a big advantage because it bypasses digestion. Oral supplementation must pass through the gut and the liver before reaching circulation. And it's same as food. And this process can break down or reduce active compounds, lowering the effectiveness. So topical transdermal delivery avoids the gastrointestinal tract and first pass metabolism, helping preserve more of the active ingredient. Because it's direct tissue access and you apply it directly to the skin over targeted areas, muscles, joints, anywhere where there's pain. And it allows localized delivery where it's needed because you're putting it directly on the spot. So modern transdermal systems can penetrate the skin barrier and reach underlying tissues or circulation. So it supports faster onset and more targeted effects compared to the systemic distribution. So additional benefits, it's more consistent absorption levels over time. It's improved compliance because it's very easy, it's non-invasive use. And remember, it's not just what you take, it's how it gets into the body, delivering really the results. So the delivery is very, very important. So delivery determines the results. So wrapping this up, if you have any questions at all, you're welcome to text me. You can send me an email. You're welcome to go onto my website and you'll find that LactiGo is on the far right of my banner. You're welcome to click on that and order it and give it a try. And of course, if you have any questions, as I've said, please reach out. Thank you for listening.